just wanted to ask the people that were hurt because they look different, because they act different. So to my all babies, to the people who are different, this is for you. We did it!
Too naughty or too nice? You decide. I am very nice, but that doesn't mean I'm not incredibly naughty.
You were so busy. You were so busy. Gosh, I had no idea. You did such a great job, Lindsay, on the Church
Thank
Choice
you.
Awards.
I've
was
worked
so much fun. You
I've
nailed
worked
it.
events before, but not like that. That was
Yeah,
massive.
yeah. Right.
Both of you did an amazing
Massive.
job. Both of you did.
Thank you. And did you
Thanks.
get to it was in the IMD something, what is that?
the
Hey,
IMDb.
Lindsay, be prepared. I'm going to have a lot of questions because I don't know what emo means.
Oh, cool. Okay. This is going to be great.
That's why Lindsay and I do so well. I'm the really old dude, and she's the really hip, got it all going.
Oh, definitely
young lady.
really hip, especially after they sung me that serenade at the Church Choice Awards.
Can we just not put hip with me? Like I'm turning 40 and I feel like you have to be the hip one, Catelyn.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Try.
Okay. That's true. You're getting hips, not hip.
Right. I'm gonna get a new hip. It's the beginning of the end for
Glad
me.
to have you back.
I'm happy to be here, dude. I've missed you.
It's good to
Okay,
see
let's
you
get
here,
started.
Lindsay.
Welcome everyone to Too Naughty, Too Nice. And with my co-host Lindsay Taylor.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm the naughty one. Just saying.
That's a fact. We always have to reel her in. And then we have CatLyn, and I can't wait to get to know CatLyn. We're going to kind of get started and ask her for her story, kind of so everyone gets their own. But one thing I do know about her, she's huge on the internet. She's huge on social media. She's huge. Let me go over it a little bit so you guys get an idea.
I feel like I gotta take notes.
On Instagram, she has 329,000 followers. On YouTube. What? Am I saying it right? Yeah, on YouTube, 925,000, and on TikTok, 4.5 million. That's what I'm talking about.
That's massive.
And I want to know why. I want to know what she does that just blew it up like that. So anyway, CatLyn, thank you for coming on. I'm so excited. I can't wait for this interview. I've been waiting all week knowing that you were going to be here today to help us with our podcast and to learn about you. So congratulations.
You.
You won the Cheer Choice Award for your category. What was the category again?
It was for fashionista.
Fashionista?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that
yeah,
is right.
Fashionista.
The word basically means a person of fashion.
Oh my gosh, and you are that for sure. You are.
Can I just say I love that you won, and like, you know, I have friends in the category, and just being like a skater kid, because we didn't have, you know, emo when I was a kid, we were skaters. Thank you for being the voice for all of us freaks out there who need to raise our freak flag and feel good about it. I love that you won. It was great.
Of course. That is the goal. That is the goal with winning the Your Choice Awards, was to make a statement for everyone who got made fun of and bullied just for dressing and looking differently.
Your speech was so good. I loved it. I loved your acceptance speech. How did it feel to make that speech?
I felt like I was going to faint. I felt like I was going to faint. I had to kneel to the ground because I was feeling so faint and dizzy. And honestly, it wasn't even the speech I had prepared. I had something prepared otherwise. And I just said I want to tell some of my story, and I wanted to have the people know that I almost was not here, and I wanted to know like they're not alone in those feelings. Like I don't want to be looked up. I don't want to be. This is what I tell people. I don't want to be looked up like as an idol or someone who's famous or someone who's popular. I want them to view me as family. I want them to view me as a friend, so that they can look at me and think, "Wow, she's gone through this, and if she can get through this, so can I."
Beautiful.
Right.
When you got down
Right.
on your knees, I thought that was like just your thing. Like you just get on the ground with people. You sold it.
Do.
You sold it.
No, I almost fainted. It is my thing to get on my knees and talk to people. That is absolutely a part of my videos.
Oh, okay. Well, then you nailed it. Sorry you almost fainted, but you looked great. It felt so amazing. Like I think we were right there with you, you know.
Thank you.
I guess my number one question, CatLyn, would be tell us about your start. How did, as you're still a little girl, but when did it all start?
It all started when I went to this one church. I'm not going to say what it was. And I wanted to start dressing differently. And I fell in love with Hot Topic. I fell in love with the Hot Topic aesthetic, the style. And so what emo style is basically a dark, gloomy style. That's what emo means. Is emotional. It comes from the word emotional. And I do two different styles. There's emo, which is mostly black, and then scene, which is mostly color. So you have the black edition and the colorful edition. That's the difference between emo and scene. So I do both styles. And at this church, there was a lady I looked up to. And one day she sat me down, which I said in my speech at a Steak and Shake, trying to convince me that what I was wearing was wrong, that it was sinful, that it was going to send me to, I don't know if I could say the word hell on here, that was going to send me to hell. And she literally looked at me in the eyes and told me I would never get anywhere in life by dressing this way. And it tore me in half. I ended up leaving the church due to some different beliefs and stuff like that. I ended up leaving the church. And then COVID happened after I left this church. And
okay, hold that thought. Christians, do you hear this? We can be our worst enemies sometime. It just infuriates me when I hear these kind of stories of what Christians can do to their own people.
I'm so sorry that was said to you. I'm so sorry that you had to feel that way.
There was a lot of church trauma that I hold, and this part of my videos is educating people about what are good churches and what are bad churches.
Yeah, sure.
Because
I can't wait to hear that.
For how I look, I have in my statement, my speech, it is true. For how I dressed, I was bullied, harassed, and abused in different ways possible just because I dressed differently.
You look beautiful, and I think you're fun, and my kids are emo, and like I'm all for it. I don't understand the world today. I'll never understand negative opinions of other people. I will never understand it. I don't know if I can say this word. It's a kink for some people, and some people still think because I dress differently that they could take advantage of me. Yeah, and that's happened, and that's honestly left me questioning different things about my faith and my religion and my beliefs, honestly, which is slowly healing. But anyways, COVID happened, and I downloaded TikTok because I was bored, and I saw so many people making fun of all these alternative people, and I was like,
when did you stumble on TikTok? How long ago? I'm sorry, Caitlin. How long ago was it? How long ago was that? 2020 is when I started TikTok.
Okay. Right during the smack of it all.
Yep.
That's right.
Originally I started posting my DID stuff. I have a disorder called dissociative identity disorder, and I would not recommend anyone doing that. Please don't post about your disorder. Don't display your system online, your DID system. Don't do that, please. I didn't know better. I had no clue.
I didn't quite get that. You talk a little fast for me.
I'm sorry. So it's called dissociative. It's called dissociative identity disorder. It's basically where your brain splits into different fragments due to.
I think they used to call that multiple personality, right?
Disorder. Yep, that was an old name for it.
It's morphed into DID. Yeah.
Yep, that's why at the church choice awards, I always had my spouse with me because in case of switches and stuff.
Oh,
yeah. So you had a negative experience sharing that online too.
Yes, and I wouldn't recommend anyone share their DID system, but also just system privacy. I was respectful to my system. I was respectful to the altars when I should have been. I didn't have self-respect at all because of the abuse I endured. I just didn't know I was raised in a very toxic Christian household, and I know not all Christians are like that. And I did not know what self-love was, what self-respect was, what pride, like having pride in myself was. I had no idea what those things were. I thought I was this doll that was meant to be used and abused and taken advantage of for the longest time. And that wasn't until I started TikTok that I actually started to have confidence in myself. When I started migrating into the emo scene style, I started seeing people who were hurting just like I was. And I was like, these people don't have a voice. They need a voice. These people need a voice. And sure, there's a lot of other emo scene content creators out there, but apparently there's not a lot that will kneel down to other people's levels and say, hey, I see you. What can I do to help? And I didn't know that. And that's why my account blew up, was because sure, there's a lot of girls that look like me and dress like me. But I think the biggest difference was that I talk a lot about helping people about different disorders, different physical issues, different. I would do videos POV. I just posted a video saying POV, you have strict parents. POV, you have Alzheimer's. POV, you have tremors. POV, you have Tourette syndrome. I do specific videos dedicated to those people, and it's those ones that always blow up the most. Are those videos, is me helping people, reaching out to people.
And I love how you do get down and you get, hey, I see you. I'm here. You're not alone. I love that.
I don't want people to see me as higher than them. I want them to see me as their equal. That's whenever I meet a follower in person, I always tell them, hey, let's sit down on the floor. I tell them, sit down on the floor together. If they're shaking, we definitely sit down on the floor together. And I look at them and say, hey, view me as a friend, view me as your family, not a celebrity, not a famous person, view me as your friend and family. And they calm down instantly.
I'm in tears. She's getting me already, Lindsay.
I know. I love it so much though, because I hate when people say that I'm famous. That's something that really bothers me. I hate it so much, and I always tell people, like, fame is a pie, right? Like let's call it a full pie. We as content creators have like a tiny little slice of that. If the pie were to be like Anthony Hopkins or something, you know what I mean? Like it's like this little slice of pie in this entertainment industry, and it's so niche, right? Like there's just it bothers me. I'm like, I am just a human. You're a human. We're all the same. You know, it's just there's numbers behind this platform that don't mean anything other than somebody chose to click a button and watch my stuff. You know what I mean?
I tell people the only reason why I am who I am today is because of my little alt babies, because part of my story of still being here was last July. I had, my spouse was a recovering alcoholic, and I walked in, and he gave me permission to share the story. So I have permission. I walked in on them. They've been a year sober, so they're doing amazing now. But I walked in on one day of him being drunk as heck, really, really badly, and I've been abused by alcoholics, and it triggered me severely, and my brain went, I don't want to live like this anymore. During this time, I was unmedicated. I had really bad anxiety, depression, and bipolar disorder, and I was unmedicated for all of it because I was scared that I believed that I didn't deserve to get the help. That's what I was taught. I was taught that God is everything. I mean, God is everything to some people, but like, he isn't everything. Does that make sense? Like, medicine,
like your
is
life
not
is
evil.
Worth something too.
Yes, exactly. Like, my life is meaningless. Like your life is meaningless, but God's is everything. I'm like, but what about my life? Like, I was taught to, like,
what about
basically
me? Yeah,
exactly. And I was taught that, like, just to belittle myself, to belittle my health, belittle everything about me. And I went to the psych ward for the first time, and I was terrified. And I was not sure what was going to happen, but that was the best thing that ever happened to me, was going to that psych ward. Because I did not know there was a way to live with a brain that didn't think that committing suicide was the only answer. I didn't know that was possible. And ever since then, it's pushed me to make more content. I almost quit. I have almost quit a couple times because of cutting out friends, cutting out people. Because sometimes people just don't want to see you succeed. Some friends don't want to see you grow. They don't want to see you develop into something better. And I had to let those people go because I
you have
knew
to put yourself
that I was
first.
meant for something more. I knew there was something more I could be doing with my life, because I don't want to just sitting behind a desk all day doing nothing. I genuinely want to be helping people. And sadly, I'm not able-bodied. I can't drive. I have non-epileptic seizures. And it's hard for me to get places. I can't do much of anything but stay at home. And so my brain's like, what can I do behind the scenes to help people? And that's where I started doing videos, because
and you ended up finding so much to do. Yes. And you're doing so much, and you are helping people, and you are worth it. And I'm so glad that you got the help that you needed to feel that self-worth.
Before we transitioned into that, I would like to know, what was it like for your darkest time? Because I'd like people to hear your story in your darkest moments. What was going on inside? And then I want to transition into how you things got better, things started to really turn around, and what you would recommend for those doing. I'm sure you're very good at this, because I'm sure that's what a lot of your videos are all about. So what was some of your darkest moments that leading up to after the all the church and the family and the Christianity,
my darkest times, what I felt like no one was going to listen. I felt like I was locked up in a room alone with my own thoughts, and just the words, it would not shut up. Just the screaming, the disappointment, the abuse, it would not shut up, telling me I was worthless, telling me that I'm not going to make it this time, that I'm not going to get through it this time. It just would not stop. It was consistent.
What do you mean not make it through at this time?
Make it getting through the situation,
getting through this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. And what it took was getting some professional help. And sometimes that's what you got to do, is get professional help. Sometimes you can call a friend you trust to talk to them about it, but sometimes it's better to get professional help, get medicated. I know medication's not for everybody, but if it's an option for you and it works for your body, I would highly recommend it, because that's what saved me. That's what
flipped the switch for you. Like what made you say, okay, I can go get help in this moment? What changed for you exactly, if you don't mind sharing?
I fell out of the tree.
Like a physical tree.
I fell out of it. So the day I tried to attempt, I'm not going to go into too much detail. I don't want to trigger anybody, but I tried attempting through climbing a tree, and I fell out of the tree, and I landed on my tailbone, and my tailbone had a stick stuck inside of it.
Not your time to go.
Exactly. That's what made me click. I was like, it is not my time to go yet, is it, God? I'm like, okay.
It reminds me of the baby eagle falling out, finding out that she's an eagle. Eagle, and her wings are massive. That's what, isn't that just amazing?
I never thought of it that way.
That's kind of a beautiful analogy.
What eagles do. They fall out, and then they got to get their wings. And that's exactly what. And then you become an eagle, a massive. It was
eagle. After that was the switch that made me feel like I have to. There's no way I'm dying this time. There was there was no way, and that honestly, that's what started my journey with no longer self-harming, because I struggled with self-harm for over 10 years, and I started getting tattoos.
I want to send you this eagle wing.
Okay,
is that cool? All right.
Yeah, that's cool. Yes.
He just had an eagle wing just right there. Just ready for you.
I'll put it on my Monster Energy Angel wings.
Isn't it funny how like the spiritual connections that we make just happen like that?
Yeah, I've never heard of the eagle thing. I've never heard of that before.
Well, that's Santa for you. Santa's got magic.
That is Santa for you. That is so true. But no, I was struggling with self-harm for a while, and honestly, that day is what snapped me to stop. Like for the longest, I have not cut since then. And that stopped me for the longest time. But that's a very stereotypical thing of emos. I don't think you've ever known. Maybe I don't think Santa knows that, but it's a stereotypical thing that emos cut themselves, unfortunately. And people like to make jokes about it. People like to make fun of it with us. People like to make comments barcode. And yes, So what I've been doing, I've been getting tattoos to cover up my scars and stuff. So I have like my cats on my arm right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So if anyone struggles with self-harm, I recommend getting tattoos because you don't want to cut things that you paid money for.
Right.
That's way to spread light on a dark situation. I like that. I had some experience in my, I think I was 14 with cutting too. And I just had to find self-worth. I think that was honestly what it was for many people. Not for everyone though. I know that for some people it's more of a spiritual thing too.
Yeah.
You know?
So it was a long journey for me.
So proud of like, can I say that? Like, I know it's
No,
not my
you're
place
good.
to be proud of you, but like, I
No,
hope
it
you're
means
proud
a
of
lot.
yourself too.
I am. That's why like getting this award meant a lot to me and my followers because last year I didn't see any alternative people at the award show. And that broke my heart because I was like, why are you guys so scared? Like, we need to make a statement for these alternative people because I get barked at, I get pointed at in stores, I get laughed at, I get made fun of, I get called out to show my scars. I've gotten so much harassing and I just wanted to prove them wrong. Like, I can make a difference with how I look. I can make a statement. I can make it loud.
Let's go back to when you fell out of the tree. And where you got, what happened after?
Yes.
Okay, you fell out of the tree and you hurt your tailbone, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And oh, there we go.
There was like
good?
I think so. I think we had to reconnect. Nope. I think all of us. I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, let me. He'll be able to pick that up. So you fell out of the tree. Then what happened at that point?
I got up and I looked at the sky and I said, "Okay, God, you don't want me to die yet." Okay. So I called 911 and I told them, "Hey, I just attempted and I need help." And that's when they picked me up in an ambulance and I got into the psych ward. And a lot of people, unfortunately, not everyone has a good experience with the psych ward, but luckily for me, I had a wonderful experience. And I wish other people,
because of most people would be very mad at God or there is no God because you learned God through Christianity and then all of a sudden, that happened. I want to know what inside you said, okay, God, I guess you don't. Instead of going, hey, piss off, God. I don't want anything to do with you.
Literally just me being alive. Because I fell out of I don't know how high I was. I think it was 6 feet or 7 feet up in the air, up in a tree.
Yeah.
And the fact that I was alive still. Right. I was like, I don't know. Something just said it's not my time. Something inside, as weird as that sounds, it sounds like from the movies. Something inside was telling me you're not done yet.
Yeah,
something inside of me was just saying I was like, my job is not done yet. And this was before the True Choice Awards happened. My first meet and greet happened. This was before all of that. And
do you think somewhere deep inside that there was a desire to live in that moment?
There was a desire to keep going then. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about faith or something like that on here. I was struggling a lot with
You're allowed to talk about whatever.
You're free.
We talk about faith. We talk about demons if you want.
Yeah.
I struggled a lot with my faith for the longest time because of the abuse I received from multiple churches, including sexual abuse. And I struggled with believing there was a God, saying, God, why would you allow something like this to happen? But especially with my, I'm not allowed to see my niece and nephews because of how I dress. So that creates a lot of tension in my faith. And I was like, God, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm literally being who you created me to be. So why can't I, why are you taking these things away from me? And and I remember this, someone told me, no, it's not you losing them. They're losing you.
100%.
I have a family member that won't let me see their kids because of my Christian faith.
Wow.
Yeah,
really? Wow.
It can go both ways. No, very much so.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
That means a lot to hear. Thank you. Wow, I genuinely, because I felt alone in that. Because I felt like I was alone in not being able to see them because of different things. So knowing that you're experiencing the exact same thing means a lot to me. Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, it goes both ways sometimes.
It does. you know. But I've always made it a thing, not a thing. I've always made it my life to be acceptable with whoever you're with. I mean, Lindsay and I have very different beliefs in different things. And,
oh God,
yeah. I'm a 70-year-old Christian conservative person. So, and I love way different. And Lindsay and Michael and people in my life and Joe and stuff, have brought me more awareness, and part of that is I hope that I could bring some more awareness too. And they don't prejudge me, and they run and hug me just like you did when you come up. Oh my God, I feel so honored that you would do that. And she made this for me and
I
gave
him
it
a little
to me.
star.
Star. Yes, it's so cute.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's what she does. She makes these little things like this. I noticed in one of the other videos, and I will treasure this. And I saved it for this interview so I could show everyone this
I make
beautiful
stars whenever I meet followers. I give it to them.
Oh, okay.
I love that.
Isn't it cool? She come right up. She goes, "I wanted you to have this," and then she told me what my content meant to her, and it was just.
It meant a lot to me. It really filled a lot of inner child, because like I wasn't allowed to believe in Santa when I was a kid. I wasn't allowed to, because of the whole Christian thing, toxic Christianity. That's what I'm going to calling it toxic Christianity. So it really, your videos have helped healed me in ways that I didn't know were broken.
I get that in my in-feeds all the time, or in my comments when I'm live. I
love watching the adults step forward with joy meeting you, Santa.
Yes.
I love that so much.
I get called pagan all the time.
Pagan?
But Christians are terrible. Not all. No, don't get me wrong.
Oh no, and you're living proof of that.
Yeah. So, but but it goes all ways nowadays. Isn't that something? Prejudged.
That is
they got
something.
Their own bubble they stay in. They never get out of the bubble. That's why I love meeting our friends Lindsay and crew all around it, because that helped me. You get a better understanding instead of staying in a bubble. That's where we're lacking.
I've always just wanted to open minds.
It's going to be so fun to get to know you, CatLyn.
And I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I hope that I can provide as much help as you provided to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You have already. You've already been a huge blessing. Just seeing you, just your whole persona, aura. What else do I want to say? When you meet her,
I was going to say aura too.
Next to her, you will be spiritually moved.
Yeah, she gives off good vibes. Like I was just on a comedy stage singing nonsense to her, and I could feel it. Like you could just feel the genuine, positive, kind soul emanating from her. You feel that. Right. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I had to sing about you. And was it Colin? Was it Colin's clothes?
Oh no, it was fine. Oh no, it was perfectly fine. I enjoyed it. No, are you kidding me? Actually, speaking of which, actually at the reward show, speaking of like people in comments, I had parents come up to me and telling me how I saved their kids' lives.
Yeah, I believe it.
I had no clue about that. I had no clue.
I believe it.
I didn't know
so many kids are getting bullied like crazy again. It's awful.
I could see that so much in what I saw in you. Can I tell a little story about my life? I had. She's still with me. She's grown up now, but she was 14. When she was 14, she met this guy. And mom and this guy was taking them to some kind of movie or do something. It was a date, but mom was going, his mom was going. So when this guy walked through the door, he had leather jackets with spikes on. His hair was this tall, the mohawk and stuff coming all off, and chains and boots, and
we love that.
Yeah.
And see, now, mind you, I'm a retired rodeo clown. So,
oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. So I had my cowboy hat on, and seeing this punk rock kid come through the door, and I'm a little confused because this is the first I get to meet him. The first time. That wasn't fair. And so they're going on this date. Well, my daughter at the time had long blonde hair past the back of her knees. Because because her
How do you
mom
brush that?
Right?
Well, her mom had long blonde hair too, but Jessica's hair is platinum. It's the most beautiful hair. I mean, just and long and thick, and it's just amazing. Well, she met this guy, and you know what guys can do. Wait, maybe I shouldn't do. I'm stereotyping. Well,
I'm like, where's this going, Santa? What are we doing here?
I don't know. We might have to edit it, but anyway,
you're fine.
So a couple weeks later, I get this call that Jessica wants to donate her hair to Locks of Love. Is that it? Love for Locks?
Locks of Love, yeah.
Yeah. And, I didn't think much of it. I thought, well, yeah, that's going to be cool because that's kind of hard to manage. I thought she was going to cut some off. No. It was, but when I saw her next, it was Mohawk. Shaved sides. It was, it was.
Were you shocked? You probably didn't like it. I would have loved it. How were you feeling about that, Santa?
I would have loved it.
Right? Are you kidding me?
Santa's like, no.
I was very upset. I was very upset. I like the idea of the Locks of Love. But, I was at a stage in my life that I was prejudgmental and
you weren't prepared for that.
Yes, I used to be the exact same way.
That's that was my little girl that I watched up forever, and now this punk rock kid's taken over. Stole her from me. That's what I felt like.
Aww.
But did she rock that mohawk though, Santa?
She rocked it for many years.
See?
Oh my goodness.
She loved it.
Yeah,
did you come around to it? Did you?
She got the boots, and so, then they decided to get married, which was cool. And then we were on, there used to be a show, there used to be a show that they were doing, engaged.
Like too soon?
Too soon, yeah. It used to be a show. It was a series, and they brought kids on.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And she was on it with him?
Well, no. They wanted me on it because I'm the cowboy and she's the punker. I mean, this is all
okay. All right.
Yeah. This is
follow.
This is TV stuff that they want to see,
Oh my God.
And,
drama.
All that stuff. Anyway, I didn't mean to go too far off into that, but so I had kind of a spirit. So when I first saw you walk up, I went, oh, okay. I didn't know what to expect, other than as soon as her cute little voice and her beautiful eyes looked at me, I saw my little.
I love that.
And it just,
I love that.
You were so humble and so cute. You had the little star, and from that moment on, I'm in. What do you want?
Yep.
Here's
You're
my
hooked.
wallet. What do you need?
I just wanted to give you a star, man. Honestly, it means a lot to hear. It means a lot to hear because I don't have the greatest relationship with my dad, and so hearing that from you actually heals a lot of me because I don't get a lot of that. So actually, like a lot of my family look down on me for what I'm doing, and have told me that like I'm damaging people, I'm hurting people, and the Church Choice Awards proved them wrong. But
absolutely, 100%.
I had no relationship with my father. None. With my biological, it was horrible, alcoholic, messed up. But I had an experience after the Cheer Choice Awards. I had an experience after Michael asked me a question on the way home. And I got home and I was telling my wife about what was going on there. And I want to share this with you, and I don't care if we edit it or whatever. But as I'm sharing this with my wife, I had this download of this feeling of God, my Father, saying to me, son, I have you in the right place. You're doing what you grew up to be. You're doing exactly what I wanted you to do, and you're doing it so well. Come here. I am so proud of you. I've never heard that from my father. I never heard my father say, I love you. I never heard him say after the football game, you made a touchdown. I never heard that. And I got to hear it, and it wasn't a voice, it was a feeling from God that I'm in the right place. You're doing the right thing, son. And I love you for it. And keep going, and we're going to do bigger and better stuff. Yes.
That's what I felt.
After the Choice Awards, that's what it did to me. Because I needed that in my life. And I'm coming up to 70 years old in a couple of months. Yes.
Like that's what it's all about. It's all about positivity and celebrating people who are making positive change. And both of you are literally doing that every day on your platforms, you know?
Well, so are you, Lindsay. Good grief.
Well, yes. I'm not, you know, I'm not one of those creators that does that in the same way that, you know, you
emotional,
two do.
Inspirational, emotional.
And the Mama Tots and the Marcus Blacks, you know, it's a little different than what I do. You know, I show up and make people laugh. You know, I lean in on the comedy. So for me, it's just different. And I just appreciate what y'all do so much because, you know, it's harder for a person like me to be vulnerable, you know? So it's always inspiring to see that because it's tough. And I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is.
Yeah. So that's what I would like to say, CatLyn, is
beautiful.
You're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And you're on your path. Your wings are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and
they're black and they're colorful, and your emo scene wings are expanding, and we love that.
So good job. That is just so cool. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you because you said you didn't have that good of a relationship to your father. And that will always be with you. Even I'll be 70 in a couple of months, and you see, I even cry over that. It hits me emotionally, even at this time in my life, because it's so deep. And when you say you bring out the inner child, that means a lot to me because that's my platform. And behind all this stuff that I do, all I want to do is bring that inner child out so you feel that love, that hope, that kindness. And it's the hope. And see, that's what you and I have in common, is you're bringing that hope back out in people.
I'm trying to bring that hope back to the emo scene community because I don't know if you know much about it, but it can be a very toxic, scary place. It's all about competition.
We have time. Tell me, what is it? What do you mean? Toxic?
You mean like on social media specifically?
Yeah, on social media, yes. It's a lot about competition. Who's the most seen? Who's the most emo? Are you even emo if you didn't grow up in the 2000s?
Oh, jeez.
All those things. Oh, really? Yes.
To be a good emo, you have to be born in the 2000s?
You have to be raised and born in the 2000s, or you had to be on MySpace, stuff like that. Or you can't be emo past 20, stuff like that. Like really, really garbagey things. It's a lot about competition.
I ask how old you are? How old are you?
Oh, that's fine. I'm 24.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And a lot of people and unfortunately there are some bad reputations on the emo scene community that were like rumors and stuff like that. So that definitely reflects badly on us. And so it can be a really scary place. And that's why I'm trying to bring light to the community, because I don't want it to be about competition. I don't want it to be about who's the most seen, who's the most emo, who's the skinniest, who has the most slits on their wrist. It's not about any of that. It's about compassion and unity. And I was just trying to bring positivity to that. And I think a lot of people are not.
Your physical body makes a difference too? Your physical body?
Yeah, apparently you can't be plus size in emo scene, apparently to some people.
Oh my gosh.
That just makes me mad. And you know what?
There's skin color matters.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it's tough
disgusting.
Because in every community on social media, you have negative connotations that surround it, but it's tough when you're in a scene. And I don't mean scene specifically. I just mean like whether it's book talk or, the autism community, whatever it is, it's like there's always people that try to one up each other or bring each other down. And then you got the people that are trying to lift everybody up. And then you got the people that are just trying to survive and get through the day.
Exactly.
And it's awful. It's like, don't you remember back in the millennium, like around this emo and scene phase, that was when we were doing the most work on anti-bullying campaigns.
Yes.
And now for some reason, it's okay that we're bullying on keyboards.
Yeah,
it doesn't
exactly.
make any sense to me. Thank you for being the voice for so many out there that need a positive light in such a dark space.
That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do. Just really trying to help people and get out and let them encourage them to dress how they want to dress.
Right.
Because it's not easy with the bullies out there and the harassers.
But yet it seems so innocent. It seems so like, obviously you should be able to dress how you want to dress, right? It seems like such a small thing that we should be worried about. There's so much more going on in the world.
There's so much more we should be worried about, and yet this is what they're worried about, is how people dress.
It's not crazy.
It is crazy.
It is ridiculous.
It's 2024, Santa.
Right.
Even happens in the Santa world. Your beard's too short.
Really?
Your
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you know, it really does. Or you shouldn't wear that kind of suit. That isn't traditional.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me?
No, it happens in the autism community too. You don't look autistic enough. You don't, it happens everywhere for every different thing. And it's annoying.
Eyebrows are brown. How come your eyebrows
Santa,
are dark?
Your eyebrows are perfect, Santa.
Yeah. I thought you were a great Santa.
If you look at the Coca-Cola Santa, his eyebrows are
so, right.
It's like, it's all over. Isn't that something? So isn't it cool to be the person to bring balance? Be the person to bring balance. That's all we're here to do. Let's bring some balance into this thing. And
I also try to encourage people to wear wigs.
Push to be that person that people would like to be like.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes.
I always just push to open minds. Keep them open.
CatLyn, what I'm so excited about is you're going to be one of the best accolades I could get. One of the thing that I want to go when I take my last sleigh ride and I'm all done, I'm out of here, is for me to be in their story. That's all I want. For me, when they start talking about their world and how things changed for them, how things got better, and how things are so much different now, it's because I met this Santa guy.
Yes.
Or I met
beautiful.
Or I met CatLyn, and she said to me, "It's okay, you're not alone. I'm here." She got down on her knees with me and said that, and that's what I needed. And they get to start flying. Pretty soon, their wings start to grow. You're hatching eagles out here.
Yep.
You're hatching eagles.
Yes. I love that.
I love that too.
I love
Beautiful.
that. I never thought of it that way. It's like hatching eagles, like helping others spread their wings. I never thought of it that way.
That's exactly what you're doing, especially with these young kids who are looking up to you that are having a tough time in school.
I didn't know I had so many looking up to me. I had no idea.
Do you realize how many millions, bajillions of people are following?
This is a part of me degrading.
What do you call them? Emos? What do you call your group? You call them
my alt babies.
Alt babies.
Yeah, alt babies.
Yeah.
You're hatching alt babies like crazy to become eagles. Now, what's alt? Alt is alternative.
Alternative.
Yep, alternative. Yep.
Oh, this is perfect. This gets me really exciting. You got a bunch of eggs out there. You got some just pecking right out of the shell.
We're going to have to get like an emo Santa costume.
Going, where am I?
Oh my gosh, can you imagine emo Santa?
I can't actually.
Little black, actually we have a little black Santa hat. You could easily pull it off.
Yeah, you could hit a whole new market. You could go hit
Michael's
the
already
baby
thinking
bracket.
Michael's I know you got him thinking.
Do it, Michael,
now.
do it.
Michael. Michael.
Content.
We're going to need a black Santa suit.
Hey, black Santa suit would be awesome. It'd look awesome.
And then we'll paint bright neon colors into his beard.
If you were going to do an emo Santa, what would he look like? What would you do, CatLyn?
Oh, black suit. Yeah, you're good. It gets messed up all the time. Black suit with like black eyeliner underneath and over top. And you'd have spikes on his hat, on his Santa hat. He would have a skeleton. He'd have a skeleton reindeer as a pet.
Yes, he would.
I got that. I got deer.
He's like, I got that. I got a skeleton reindeer.
No reindeer. No, they're not reindeer.
Mm.
They're deer, though.
Santa, this could be a really great look for you.
A photo shoot, nice photo shoot for Halloween. That'd be amazing. Yes, Halloween Santa.
No, a person who likes Halloween a lot.
I will show up. Yeah, I will show up.
Is it you, Lindsay?
Like that.
Yeah, that's like been the biggest joke. When we started our first podcast, I'm basically a Halloween creator. I run a side hustle. I used to. I didn't do it this year because I had COVID, but I do Winnie Sanderson from Hocus Pocus. I love Halloween. So
awesome.
Oh, she's got. Yeah. How many followers do you have for Winnie?
She has like 700K, but again, I can't stress enough. I let it drop. I didn't even do it this past year. I didn't even show up.
That's how good she is, CatLyn.
Yeah,
that's still good, girl.
Yeah,
she's amazing.
It was a thing I tried. It worked. It's a lot of work. I will say that.
Yes,
it's a lot.
I can imagine if it's too
but
stressful.
I'll bring it back for Santa for Halloween.
Yeah, bring it for Santa.
For an emo thing for Halloween.
It's a deal. It's a deal. I'm telling you, I showed my granddaughters you. I didn't know who you were then. Oh, look at this. It's that Hocus Pocus thing. I had to go buy the movie. Now I have the movie so that they can watch it. Now they want to watch it all the time. You got them started. They thought you were her.
I am not. Yes.
Anyway,
but emo Santa, I love it. Please bring it. Bring emo Santa.
We'll have to go where she's at and do that, or bring her in, or do something.
No, that could be so good for all the emo scene kids out there, dude.
Yeah, let me know whenever you're down for it. That'd be all right.
I would totally be up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay. I'm sorry. We got really sidetracked.
I know, we went off on a tangent.
No, you're okay.
Do this. I wish we had 2 hours.
Or
you're
7.
Okay. Now you have my Instagram. You can reach out whenever.
All right.
This is true.
Okay. So now you fell out of the tree.
We're just gonna like revert and come back a little bit.
Well, I'm trying. What I want is what I would like to see, and it's not all about me, is you fell out of a tree, you found help, we started with God, and that got us off in another thing.
Yeah.
And then you went there, you had a great experience. They took you to a medical health center.
Yeah.
Now,
yes.
To help not make that scary for someone, because that's huge.
That's very scary.
Yeah, like I can't do it. Huge. Most people won't.
Yeah.
They would, rather check out than do that. Okay. Yeah. So paint that picture for us, or what was that like? And then you can go on from there in your life.
How scary was it for me?
Yes. And then what was it like once you got there? And
yeah, because you had a good experience, right? Like it ended up helping you.
Wonderful. Yeah, I was scared though because of all these horror stories I heard.
Sure.
And I was shaking. I was like crying. I was trembling in my seat. I couldn't write down anything. They had to write everything for me. And I answered.
Yeah.
And they took me into the back of the big room. That's what we call it, the big room. I went to Sunrise. This person came up to me playing the guitar and they went, "Hey." And I'm like, "Hi." Like, "Welcome to Sunrise." And I'm like, "Okay." And they're just like, "Don't worry, you're safe here. It's going to be okay." And it then clicked in my brain like, wait, I say that stuff all my time in my videos.
Quit crying, Lindsay. You're going to get me going.
It's tough for me because I've been there, and I didn't have someone with a guitar smiling at me. That's beautiful.
They were so sweet. And I had a lot of other people come. Every time I went to the psych ward, I've been there 3 times since July. They've always had the most welcoming people in the entire world that just come in with open arms, and they're like, "Hey, let's talk. Let's figure out what's going on." And they made me believe that there was hope for me and my spouse. My spouse got help, and they've been a year sober. And
That's
those
amazing.
that are scared of going to a psych ward or going to get help,
of course,
if a friend came to you asking should they get help, what would you say? What would you say to them?
Of course,
see yourself as your own friend. See yourself as your own friend. Now you go get the help that you need. It's scary, but it is the best. If you want to live life and live it the best way possible, you gotta take care of yourself. Do not reject yourself. Do not deny yourself the help you need, and do not belittle yourself to believe that you don't deserve it. don't do that. You deserve the help. You deserve to get it. You deserve to live a well, happy life. Because I believe for the longest time I did not deserve that because of the abuse I went through. And I want people to know that that's not true. That is so not true. You deserve to live this happy, empowering life. You just gotta grab it. It's right there in front of you. You got to put yourself first. And if other people are not willing to wait for you as you get help, don't even worry about them. They're not worth keeping. The right people will understand and wait for you on the other side.
Yeah, well said.
Well said. Oh, I love how you said treat yourself like the friend, you know.
Because I lost a lot of people when I went to get help because they were like, "What about me?" I'm like,
"Right.
What about me though? I need to get help."
Or they just don't understand.
Yeah, and it's that, and if those that don't understand, it's not their fault. They don't understand it, and some friendships they need to go their own separate ways for the better, and that's all right.
And that's one of the hardest things to learn is that it's okay that this friendship is ending for me to, you know, move forward. That's tough because friends sometimes feel like everything in the moment, you know.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So to think you're losing something to almost better yourself doesn't feel right sometimes, but it does need to happen sometimes.
You're not losing something, you're gaining stability and peace in your life.
Self-worth.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You'll gain new friends. You'll gain better friends because
absolutely
who you become.
Yes.
You're in your becoming. And while you're in your becoming, you'll find people like Lindsay in your life, and you'll find people
and Santa. What about now though? Like, how do you handle criticism that comes your way now? Like while you're still actively healing, like how are you battling that, you know, the trolls and the negativity every day? Like, how are you handling that now?
Well, there's different kinds of criticism. There is good criticism and bad criticism. Good criticism is where you take accountability. So we're gonna push that one aside. I'm assuming you're talking about bad criticism, like trolls and haters, and okay,
absolutely.
Just to make sure.
Sure.
I don't read my comment section. I don't read them. I don't look at it because it's not worth my mental well-being. I only my spouse will go to my comment section and just read to me all the positive stuff. And something that Mary Stank told me. She was the one that won the health and fitness award. I did her mask for the masquerade.
I saw your video. I know what you're talking about.
She looked at me and said, "They're just whispers. It's they're just background noises. That's all they are." And that's what helps me ignore them, and knowing that most times they're projecting. They're projecting onto me something they have not dealt with in themselves. In that form, I kind of hurt for them because they are not dealing with the things that are going on internally. And you know what? That's not on me. That's on them.
Right. And they're miserable. And they're projecting.
If they choose to project and continue to live a miserable life, that is on them, not on me. I'm just living my best life and continuing to help people as much as I can.
Yeah, and that's all you need to do. I'm glad to hear that you're able to tune that out because some people can't. And that's one of the most important things that we as creators have to be able to do sometimes for our own mental health.
You got to do what's best for your mental health. And if you're not looking at the comments, not looking at the views is what's going to help you, then don't. You got to do what's best for you.
I tell my friends that all the time. Some of them can handle it and some of them can't. And that's okay. We're all different, you know?
Yeah.
I can look at them and laugh. They don't hit me anymore like they used to in 2020.
Well, I've gotten better. I can read, YouTube's a little more nicer to me, but like I can read on YouTube.
I find YouTube to be nicer too. Yes.
I'll go on there and like, or someone like cringe. I'm like, thank you, I know. Or it's just like, why are you so awkward? Why are you so weird? I'm like, sometimes
some of them become teaching moments to lean into, like, you know, let's comment back and share a little bit about ourselves and be like, hey, it's okay that we're like this. You know, I do that a lot too. Sometimes
most times
leaning
they're probably
into
just
them.
Kids anyway. Their kids are uneducated.
Yeah. And somebody that might just need a little bit of love that day, you know. Or I actually made one just before I hopped on here. If somebody was like, oh, now you're a singer-songwriter, I'm like, I've been a singer-songwriter long before I did the content creator thing. You know, it's been 20 years. And at the end of the video, I said, I love you. Because I know that, like, at the end of the day, that person might be hurting too. And that's something new that I'm starting to do. I'm starting to meet them where they're at, where I used to just get do my little clap back, haha, laugh it off, block them.
Oh
and
yeah,
now
no,
instead,
I can't clap back anymore. But no, something
Yep.
I learned
Nope.
with
It's
the
different now.
haters. Something I learned with the haters is that most times they're just hurting.
Yeah,
and
they want to be seen.
The best way I could respond to them is just show them love. Because like
Absolutely.
or sometimes I think, you know what, maybe what they need is a little kindness, because that's what taught me. I used to be against the whole emo scene style, but when I was 11 years old, I was at an Aldi's and I saw this big goth chick and her boyfriend walking down Aldi's, and she smiled and waved at me, and my brain went, oh, I want to be like that. Just a little kindness can go a long way. And that's what took me to change.
Yeah,
and
me too. And I flipped to clapbacks with kindness in 2020. I learned quick. And that's how I grew my platform, actually, was, my kids draw on the walls with crayons. And I got a lot of people saying, like, that's not right.
Oh
Your
my
house
gosh,
looks like
I remember that video.
Yeah. They were like, your house looks like a trap house. Your kids are going to be delinquents. And I'm like, listen, my son doesn't have a speaking voice. He has autism. This is his voice.
Aww.
It's like, if you can just turn it around and like wake them up a little and open their minds a little and be nice to them. I've actually made friends that way by answering people, changing their mind about it and being nice,
Yeah.
That's what this world needs. A little bit more positivity,
Exactly.
Right?
More kindness, more people reaching out and saying, hey, I see you. I got you.
Less judgment.
Yes. Way less judgment.
For sure. For sure. So what's it like for you now? Where are you at? What are some of the opportunities? You just won your Cheer Choice Award. You just won your Cheer Choice Award. What's it like for you now? Not just because of that, but because a lot of things lead up for you to get to be able to even get in the top 5. There's a lot of things that happen. So what's going on in your world today, now that things are coming together for you, your mental health is there, you sound like you're just dead on, and you're doing things just right.
Yes.
And you're finding out who you're doing this for. That's a big question. Because it's sometimes you think you're doing it for them, or you're doing it for this person, or you're doing it for yourself, or you're doing it for your spouse. Or there's all kinds. When you really can answer the question, I'm not looking for the answer right now. I would like you to think about that for a week, and we'll get together. Okay. There may be a part 2 to this.
Okay.
To your end, would you mind?
That is completely fine.
Lindsay,
I have a lot there's a lot more to me.
Yes. Lindsay, would you agree to that there should be a part 2?
Absolutely. I would love to see, what's next, and how you handle like what's going to come at you next, because I feel like Cheer Choice Awards tends to bring people a lot of opportunities, and things tend to happen after, your top 5, or you win an award, or you make all these network connections with people while you're there. And then you might do some collaborations, or you might go on this podcast,
a lot of people that I looked up to. And that honestly sparked a lot of one of the things that definitely, I did not know I was influencing people that were influencing me. I had no clue about that. And the fact that I could influence people that influence me means the world to me. Because I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I helped you?
Yeah. It's weird, right?
a good example.
When people tell me they watch my
stuff,
they
remember you?
I watched Mama Tot go through her son, the death of her son.
Yes.
I watched her, and that really helped me through a lot of stuff. So you're so right. There's just so much. I didn't mean to bring us down.
Oh, no, actually,
it's okay.
Speaking of,
she's a beautiful human.
Speaking of Mama Tot, actually, she was one of the biggest things that inspired me, because she stitched one of my videos. And I said, would you go to this church with me dressed like this? And she did a stitch about it, saying yeah, she would. And honestly, that's what brought a lot of followers to my platform, was because of her. Mm-hmm. And then everyone started calling me Emo Mama Tot because of her.
It's so funny that you say that, because when I was watching your videos a little bit, and I'm friends with Opie, I've been friends with her for a while. We've been through a lot together.
Yeah.
I noticed it. Yeah, she's a dear friend. And I've noticed some similarities, not in personality, but in content style. And I'm like, that's so needed for that community. You know what I mean? It's like, because Mama Tot is for everyone, but some of the scene kids might not fully connect on, like an emotional level.
Yes.
Right. I'm sure they do in their own way, but then they see you and they're like, you know?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
And so I made that connection too.
And by the way, Too Naughty, Too Nice viewers, Mama Tot's we're going to be interviewing her too. She's already agreed that she would love to. So, yeah.
Good people.
Yeah.
But I think that's what it is. It's good people, good energy, and that attracts people. You know what I mean? So you're out there and you're meeting all of these people, and whether it's on a stitched video or whether it's in person, they feel your energy.
Yes.
And that feels good to them, you know, and that's so needed in every community.
Yeah.
And
I
adore you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
She precious, just amazing.
Yes, I want to put her in my pocket and then like pull her out when I need her for like joy. Yeah. You know, it's like if you could bottle that up, you know,
she's so cute. She's so cute. She's so nice. She's so precious. But I just feel a powerhouse awakening. Just like the huge effect is
especially like, after this definitely woke up. This woke up a lot of confidence in me because I always doubted myself. So after I won the award, my friends looked at me and said, I never want to hear you doubt yourself again. I never want to hear you bring yourself down again. Like, never. They're like, this was
fashionista.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, this is a big this is a big stepping stone for you. They're like, everyone that proved you wrong, everyone told you that you weren't going to get anywhere with this. They're like, you just proved them wrong today.
Did you have a little imposter syndrome?
Yes.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah. Yes.
I can't wait to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like 6 hours, 7 hours, like it could just go on.
This can go on, man.
Yeah, I think we can all relate to each other in different ways, you know? So it's like these conversations could literally go on forever. I'm here for it. I have forever. I have a lot of time, I guess. You know?
I don't. I'm closer to the end.
No, please don't. Don't bring up the D word. I can't handle it.
I didn't say D word. I just said I'm closer to the end.
I know, but Goonies never say die. We don't talk about it either, you know? It's like, it's
Isn't that
that's
a movie?
Over here. We're here. The Goonies, man. You never seen The Goonies?
I never have.
So that was like a cult classic from the 80s.
Okay,
it's a great adventure movie. You just go watch it.
Oh my gosh, The Goonies. Okay, I'll have to look that up later.
It's a good one. My kids don't like it because they think it's too old, and I get it because like I'm old and it was hip when I was 10. But I promise you, it's a good movie. I wouldn't lie about that. I know movies. It's a good one.
Lindsay, is Lindsay Taylor? Is that your Instagram handle?
Yeah, it's Lindsay Taylor on Instagram and the Lindsay Taylor on TikTok. I messed up and I had like a backup account. I couldn't flip it with Instagram, so I have 2 different ones. I'm sorry. So sorry.
I found you.
What about you? While we're at it, where can people find you? Let's get your socials up here. Come on, this is about you, not me.
I'm sure. You know, our little podcast is growing, but we're getting there. And with people like you coming in to come in, and I know we're gonna blow up. This is, and once they start.
Let me know like how I can help promote this because I like helping my friends out.
Right now is your time. You promote you. How do we find you? How do they find you to follow your content? Everywhere.
Clawed Beauty 101. CLAWED Beauty 101.
Okay.
And is that on every platform? You have
the same on every platform.
Handle?
Yep, same handle.
She's smart too. Good for you.
Perfect.
Now, why is it called Clawed Beauty? Do you have nails? Do you do nails or like?
I do have nails, but so it actually is based off a Bible verse in Isaiah 61:3 that talks about beauty from ashes. And my name is Catelyn. Cats have claws. So Clawed Beauty 101. 101
got you.
is from the Psalms 101.
Did you see Game of Thrones?
No, Proverbs 101 is where the 101 came from.
So I have one question before we tie it up.
I'm trying to make connections.
Where are you at with God now? Where are you at?
Oh boy.
If it's a long story, we can do it on part 2.
No, honestly, part of it has to be a part story, but I think if I can give you an answer, it's getting better, especially after winning the award. It proved to me that I asked God, I said, listen, if this is what you want me to do, You're gonna have to prove this to me. And he did. So I'm on a better journey now with him.
Look at that.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Because I was gonna quit TikTok. Legitimately, I was going to quit this year.
I feel you.
And
I almost quit last year.
This happened, and I was like, well, I ain't quitting now.
Yeah. No, but you know what? It's okay to take breaks when you need to.
Yeah.
Definitely been doing that.
I do it more and more now. I think that's important. You know, you got to give yourself the air when you need it.
Right.
Yes.
Well, it's time to wrap this up. Thank you, CatLyn.
Yeah, CatLyn, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yes,
Thank you,
pleasure talking to you, both of you.
And there will be a part 2. We've got so much more to talk about. So if you could please think about I want to talk about next is what happened after and how things are going for you now after the Cheer Choice Award that you had won. Is your award handy right there? Let's show it off real quick. Do you have it right there, or is it? Oh, I want to see your outfit too. I want them to see your
love the pants.
This is the outfit.
Yeah.
I just went to the store.
Cool.
Super cute. I love it.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. Oh, you don't have their statue?
Not yet. They lost mine.
She'll get it.
Oh,
there was a snafu with not just yours. There was a few, but you'll get it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. All right. Thank you guys so much. Be sure to follow us. Be sure to subscribe. And make a comment in here, please. That always helps the algorithm. So
yeah, just tell Santa you want to see him in his emo costume. Just throw it out.
Let's go.